Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be going over Bank 20 number 6. So this may be the last video you watch before all the juniors take the ACT. You might have another one, we'll just have to see how scheduling goes. But Bank 20 number 6. Number 1, 4x minus 11 equals 6x minus 7. We're solving for x, so first thing we do is subtract 4x from both sides, leaving us with negative 11 equals 2x minus 7. Then we add 7. So negative 4 equals 2x. Dividing by 2 gives me negative 2 equals x. Number 2. This one says we have a square, each side is 6. We've got some triangles built in. But when you really get down to the question, all it's asking is for the area of the outside square. All of that extra stuff that's drawn in that makes it look really confusing, that's all extra. So all we needed was 6 times 6, which is 36, is the area of the square. Sometimes you'll have questions that look really hard, but when you get down to them, they're not as bad. All right, number 3. So this one we have 4 choices for the first course, 5 choices for the second course, and 3 choices for dessert. We want to know how many different options there are. This one, you should be memorizing the process. 4 times 5 times 3 is 60. Okay, number 4. This one is a true difference of squares. So we've not really seen many differences of squares, but differences of squares, you have 2 terms. In this case, I have the a to the 16th and the 16. Don't bring the negative with it. What we want to do is take the square root of each part. So the square root of a to the 16th is not a to the 4th. When you take the square root and you have an exponent, you divide the exponent by 2. So the square root of a to the 16th is a to the 8th. The square root of 16 is 4. So when I factor this difference of squares, we have a to the 8th plus 4, a to the 8th minus 4. None of those are our answer choices. Instead, I have another difference of squares that I'm going to break down. The square root of a to the 8th is a to the 4th. The square root of 4 is 2. So when I break this one down, we have a to the 4th plus 2, a to the 4th minus 2. And the only one that's an answer choice is H, a to the 4th plus 2. Number 5. A meal cost $16 and the waiter was tipped 20%. How much was the tip? So 16 times 0.2 is $3.20. Number 6. We have endpoints 6, 8 and 14, 18. And we want to know the x-coordinate of the midpoint. So when we're doing the midpoint, you add the x's and divide by 2. And that's the only one we care about for this question. So 6 plus 14 is 20, divided by 2 is 10. If we wanted to know the whole midpoint, we would also need to do the y, but it didn't ask for that. Number 7, we have the line 2x plus 9y equals negative 18, and we want to know the slope. We have to put it in slope-intercept form. So first we subtract 2x from both sides, leaving us with 9y equals, we always want to write the x first, so negative 2x minus 18. And then we divide by 9. And when we divide by 9, we divide everything by 9. Y equals negative 2/9 x minus 2 is the equation. It's asking for the slope, which is the number in front of the x. So negative 2/9 or h. Number 8, we have some absolute value. I would just plug in your answer choices and see which one gives you the right answer. So if we do the absolute value of 5 minus 2 times 2, that's the absolute value of 5 minus 4, absolute value of 1, which is 1. That's not greater than 5. So then we go to B. Absolute value, 5 minus 2 times 3. That's the absolute value of 5 minus 6, which is negative 1. The absolute value of that is 1. Next one, absolute value of 5 minus 2 times 4. That's the absolute value of 5 minus 8, or negative 3. The absolute value of that is positive 3. Still not greater than 5. All right. Absolute value, 5 minus 2 times 5. That would be the absolute value of negative 5, which is 5. 5 is equal to 5, not greater than. So we get down, it's going to be the last one. 5 minus 2 times 6. That would be negative 7, which is 7, greater than 5. So it is K. All right, number 9. Circumference is pi times diameter. And so if the radius is 6, the diameter would be 12. So 12 pi, which is J. Number 10. Just plugging in numbers. 2 times a squared times b minus 5 times a times c squared. All you got to do is type that into your calculator and you get negative 330. Number 11. The mean, you add up all of the numbers. So you add them all up. 62 plus 100, add them all up, and then you divide by how many there are, and there's 10. So when you add them all up and then you divide by 10, you get 70. Number 12. So I'm going to draw this out just to help. So we have 15, 25, 39, 16. No! Oh no, oh no. Okay. Well. All right, it says B lines on AC, or I can see that. AD and BD are shown. All right, we want to know the length of BC. Well, I have a right triangle here. I don't need that 16, the 39. I don't need that. We have Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 15 squared plus B squared equals 25 squared. This would be 225 plus B squared equals 625. When I subtract 225, we get B squared equals 400. Taking the square root gives me 20. This was another example where you had extra information that could have thrown you off. All right, number 13. All right. A, B, C, A, B, D, and C. All right. We want to know which of the following must be true. So C could be anywhere between, C is anywhere like up here. It could be here. Could be here. Could be here. Okay, any of those are possible places for C. So the measure of A, B, C is more than 90. Well, it could be, but it could also not be. There's an example where it would not be. The measure of ABC is less than 90. Well, again, it could be true, but it's not always true. C, it is 90. Well, it could be true, but it may not be true. So the sum, the next one, I'm going to erase all of these extras. I'm just going to go back to having 1. It says the sum of ABC and CBD is 180. And that is true. No matter where I put C, these two angles will add up to 180 because of this straight line. So it is D. Number 14. 7C minus 2D times 2C plus D. All right, when we multiply, we double distribute. 7C times 2C, 14C squared. Multiply those, plus 7CD. Multiply those, minus 4CD. Multiply those, minus 2D squared. Combining my like terms, 14C squared plus 3CD minus 2D squared is J. All right, so if I plug in -1, number 15, we have absolute value of x cubed minus 1. If I plug in -1, the absolute value of -1 is 1. So 1 cubed minus 1 is 0. F. Number 16. We have 24 students. 8 of them got A's. 11 got a B. 3 got a C. 2 got a D. 1 got a C. 4 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 got a D. 5 received a C. There's 24. We want to know the probability that they would have received an A. So there's 8 A's, 24 total. That simplifies to 1/3. All right, number 17. We have the points. 1/3 and 5, 5. 1/3, I said 1/3, 1/3. Now, just by looking at the picture, this graph increases. You could knock off A and B automatically because it's a positive slope. But to find slope, we subtract the y's on top, 3 minus 5 and 1 minus 5. Subtract the x's on bottom. This would be -2 over -4, which is 1/2, or D. Number 18. We have this triangle and a smaller triangle. And we want to know the measure of BDC right here. So 30. We have 30 and 90. We can find this whole angle by taking 180 minus 90 minus 30, which is 60. So this whole angle has to be 60. We know that this part is 25. So 60 minus 25 is 35, which is B. Number 19. We have 2x cubed y times 4x to the 5th y cubed. So multiply the numbers. 2 times 4 is 8. Now when we multiply variables, you add the exponents. So x to the 8th, y to the 4th. Because we had 1y and 3 y's, we get y to the 4th, which is J. All right, and then number 20. This one we have a y-intercept of -3. So we can cross out G and J. And then our slope, if we do rise over run, we count up 1, 2, 3 over 2. So our slope is 3 over 2. Y-intercept is -3. So the correct answer is F. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask. Have a good day.